Hi, welcome to my tutorial on drawing a standard human head. The materials I will be using here are pretty basic. It's a B pencil and 2 erasers. The construction of the head is based on the Loomis method, first pioneered by Andrew Loomis quite some time ago. There is a reference in the description. It is based on the position of the skull behind the face and can be adapted to any kind of facial proportions. The first step is to draw a circle, which can be a little challenging. My circles can end up being ellipses, so I usually refine the edges until I think it looks fairly symmetrical. You'll find that if you create an oblong shape in the circle, or if the circumference is not symmetrical, this will change the shape of the face. It could mean that the face could end up being a little wider than a standard face, or a bit longer, or perhaps a little out of proportion. The next step is to create 2 horizontal lines, one at the top and one at the bottom of the circle. This is followed by a vertical and horizontal line that goes through the centre of your circle. Try to keep these fairly light, as we'll be erasing these later on when we draw the final head. We are now boxing in the circle with 2 vertical lines, one on each side. We'll be extending these vertical lines slightly below the bottom edge of our boxed circle. We are now marking 3 equal spaces in the vertical radius from the centre of the circle to the top and bottom edges. It is important that we get these proportions or spacings right, as this will affect the placement of the key features of the face. If you have a ruler or measuring tool, it may be easier to use this. We're now drawing our first horizontal line across the first marking. This will be the hairline. The middle line that we've previously drawn is the brow line. The third horizontal line that we're drawing on the bottom edge of the circle will be the nose line. We are now going to double the spacing of the distance of the nose line to the bottom edge of the circle and draw another horizontal line below this. This will be the chin. We now need to place the eye line in the middle of our drawing. To do this, mark off a spot in the middle vertical that is at 3.5 or halfway between the 3rd and 4th mark on your vertical. We will cut off the sides of our circle by drawing 2 vertical lines from the right and left of the circle down towards what will be the chin. To complete our head, we need to draw the jawline at the bottom and extend both sides of the head towards this line. We now have the basic shape of the head and are erasing the construction lines. It is important before you erase that you recheck all measurements and distances so that when you are looking at both the left and right side of the head, they are fairly symmetrical. We are now drawing the mouth line. Measure out 3 equal spaces between the nose and chin and place a horizontal line at the top third. The ears are attached to the sides and generally from the brow to the nose line. Begin the stroke with an upward line from the eye line to curve outwards and down to the nose line. Draw the inner ear shape like I have done. I am drawing some straight guidelines from eye line to the brow at roughly a 45-degree angle, and then running the line down from the corners of each eye line to the junction of the chin line. 2 horizontal lines re-emphasise the brow, and the 2 angled lines downwards position the middle of the nose at eye level. I have drawn 2 further lines from the top of each side of the head to the temple. These lines will add a 3D element and will help us to structure the sides of the face and eye positions. I'm also roughly blocking in the shape of the sides of the nose. Start the eyebrows with a slight upward curve from the temple and a downward slant towards the bridge of the nose. I find it easier to start the nose by drawing 3 circles, with the smaller ones representing the nostrils on each side. 2 small curves upwards become these nostrils. To check the placement, I am dropping a guideline from the inner corner of the brow, and this should ensure that the placement is symmetrical. This is also the line for the start of the eye. This can be the trickiest part of the drawing, and it is important that the shape and distance from the nose bridge are the same for both eyes. Do not draw the pupil just sitting on its own in the middle of the eye socket, unless you want your drawing to have a surprised look about it. This is not a detailed drawing, but I want to give you an idea of how the various features are placed and proportioned on the face. I'm now drawing a horizontal line for the bottom of the lower lip and 2 lines from each nostril to give us some symmetry for where the top lip and bottom lip meet in the middle. I'm drawing the cheek and jawline with a gentle curve and thinner than the guidelines we've drawn to reflect someone with an oval rather than a square jaw. The hairline is slightly flat and closer cropped to the skull, and should sit as an outline slightly wider than the skull base itself. The slanted temple guidelines help with drawing the hair in these areas, with the front full hairline following the guideline we've previously put in place. I'm now erasing all of the guidelines so that we can complete the face. The rest of the process is basically drawing with a heavier pressure to emphasise the outlines of the face and features. I'm adding the pupils in each eye by drawing a small open circle with the open area reflecting the highlight in each eye. I recommend that you look at Andrew Loomis's book on drawing the head or any videos or online training references. Once you've practiced the basic structure, you can adapt it to the shape and placement of any head type and facial features. I will be using the same method to draw the head in profile and 3/4 view in upcoming tutorials. This brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and please click to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.